Hellbanians. Weapons, police chases, trap music videos, drug factory raids, a fight to control the London sex trades and piles of cash. Welcome to the world of the Hellbanians. Hellbanians, an infamous Albanian gang based in London, made headlines in the UK when they used social media to show off their luxuries, including flashy cars, expensive jewelry, and weapons. With links to the notorious Albanian Mafia, it's said that their mission was to taunt the police and rival gangs with their success, and to entice new recruits who are looking for the good life. In reality, if you join, you'd most likely be pushed into a world of violence and modern slavery. Some Albanian gangs even offer contract killings in the UK, charging from $20,000 to $120,000 per assassination, depending on the profile of the target and the gruesome manner of the death. Organized crime gangs from the Balkan regions are not uncommon in Europe, with Romanian, Bulgarian, and Bosnian gangs all active across the continent. But it's the Albanian Mafia that strikes real fear into people, with their reputation for violence and fearlessness, backed up by a history of harsh conflict during the Kosovo War. For such a small country, Albania has an incredible impact on organized crime throughout Europe. So much so that, according to the UK's National Crime Agency, Mafia Shqiptare, better known as the Albanian Mafia, are on their way to a total takeover of the UK's $6 billion cocaine market. Their move for domination began around 2014, after deciding that negotiating directly with cartels in South America for drugs and arranging shipping directly to the UK would be far more cost-effective than using other European wholesalers. This meant that they could afford to buy and smuggle drugs in larger quantities and sell it on the streets at a lower price than their rivals. And with the UK having the highest number of young drug users in Europe, the Albanian Mafia have sold more than 500,000 kilograms of drugs in London alone in the last few years. The business of the Albanian Mafia in Great Britain is usually managed by the lieutenants of the bosses that are set up across each set in Europe. But in recent years, there's a new, younger generation of gang members that are trying to impose their domination in the UK. One of the most infamous are Hellbanians, whose home turf is on the Gascoigne estate in Barking, East London, with the gang motto being, "We are God of the streets," and a hand salute in the shape of a bull's horns. It's believed that most members of the gang are children of asylum seekers who fled the war-torn Balkans during the 1990s for a safer life in the UK. Some say a repercussion of the cheaper drugs that the Albanian model pushes has helped fuel knife crime and drug disputes.
Yo, 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 yo! Oh my god, he's got a knife! He's got a knife! Oh my gosh!
The Hellbanians are continually involved in increasing gang violence as they battle their rivals through turf wars over drugs and the London sex trade, which they violently took over from the Maltese Mafia. For decades, East London has built links to organized crime, with famous tales of legends such as the Kray Twins and Mad Frankie Fraser showing off their expensive lifestyles. And that tradition is being continued by a new generation that make the news for their use of social media to entice new recruits, posting messages that boast of their wealth and success before social media companies take them down. They even produce high-end trap music videos featuring prominent gang rappers such as Vinz and Stealth that reach millions of views.
Tu lëviz në për këto zona si tjetë veni jem Këtu si ludh me një men Se cili me ka një sen
Some of the gang's lyrics discuss defending their home turf with guns and other weapons and dishing out threats to rival Albanian outfits, such as OTR, which stands for On Top of the Rest. But the gang rappers claim they do not condone violence, and any violent acts portrayed are simply artistic impression. Some posts even appear to have been taken from inside prison, where gang members brag about living lavish lifestyles behind bars. There's an even darker insight behind the social media posts. Back in Albania, many young people that follow the lifestyles being portrayed by gang members will believe that the streets of the UK are paved with gold. They become desperate to get into Britain in the hope to make a better life for themselves and their families. But being smuggled into the UK, sometimes at a cost as high as $35,000, means vulnerable young Albanians who make the journey can end up in debt to the gangs, who then force them to deliver drugs, work at cannabis farms set up in houses, and even get forced into the sex trade. Trapped in a form of debt bondage, no matter how hard they work, their debt will never seem to be paid off. And with nowhere else to go, their life is controlled through threats of violence.
Albanian drug gangs are offering to pay for migrants to cross the English Channel if they work in the UK drugs industry when they arrive.
The Hellbanians' life of bling is also said to have caused tensions with older generations of Albanian mafia, who claim that their flash behavior exposes their activities, increasing the chance of being targeted and caught by law enforcement. And they may have a point. In 2015, after posting an image surrounded by piles of cash, gang member Olsi Behulli was sentenced to 11 years in prison. Claiming to be an actor, Olsi boasted of how he loved his job on social media and initially claimed that the money wasn't his and the photo had been taken at a relative's house in Albania. But by matching the distinctive wallpaper and furniture in the picture to photos on a property marketing website, investigators were able to prove that it was a flat previously rented by Olsi in London and arrested him for being part of a $4 million cocaine and heroin operation. In 2016, Tristan Aslani, said to be one of Hellbanian's most prominent members, was caught after crashing a car into a shop in London following a police pursuit. Police also found 21 kilograms of cocaine in his car, a Scorpion submachine gun, and $7 million worth of drugs found at a property connected to him nearby. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison. As long as there are drugs, there will always be gangs involved, and with their unique online presence, Hellbanians have claimed a place as one of the most talked about gangs in modern British gang culture.